Hello, good afternoon. It is Sunday. What day is it? Oh, Sunday, July 6th. For some reason, I kept thinking it was the 8th today. But this is Nemi Batstone, and I'm coming to you from my crafty studio in Cooks Creek, Manitoba, 20 minutes northeast of Winnipeg. So if you're there and you are visiting and new, please do say hello. Send me a thumbs up, or even a heart, whatever you feel like giving me. And hope you enjoy today's Facebook Live. Or you're catching the replay on Facebook or my YouTube page. So I'm a little behind here, so I want to make sure that I am all set up and you can hear me and this is recording properly. So that way I am, okay, nice and loud. So that's perfect. Okay. So it is midday again, an afternoon break, Kit Kat break. Usually at this time, I'm either hiding from the sun, of course, or cooking a meal or taking a nap. But no nap times allowed because it is crafty time instead. And I'm hoping that you will join me moving forward. So today I'm going to create one more card that I wanted to share. Actually, I don't even have it designed, but it's something that's been in my head for a long time and I want to get it going. And we're using Sunshine Vibes. The reason we're using Sunshine Vibes is it is this month's Crafty Club, Let's Get Crafty Club featured bundle. I don't know why I can't talk. So I don't know if you caught my other card that we made, but we made this one. I should actually put my camera down so you can see. And my monthly subscription is like a surprise in the mail. So it's a gift that comes with, or package that you pay for, which is $45 a month. And you get an abundance of everything cut and ready for you to go. All the pieces you need to create 4 cards minimum, actually 8. So you get 2 of each, 4 designs. But this time I have for you 5. I have 5 designs ready to go. And I actually, I'd say like probably my favorite one is this one. So you're definitely going to need the bundle because you have 6 rainbow colors to cut out, because it actually comes with this stamp here, or this die, sorry. And so you got to cut it out, the shadow and then the actual rainbow itself. And so you're going to do that 6 times. So you're definitely going to need the bundle, and you get a digital tutorial so you can create it whenever you want. But as long as you sign up by the 15th, you're just automatically going to receive it in the mail. So there's this die, which just does the shadow. And then this die, oops, it's stuck, that does all the pieces. So what's pretty cool is you get quite a few collections or quite a few pieces when you actually do it. So what's great about this is because I'm giving you all the pieces and the colors, you're going to get like a ton of pieces left over, which means you can double your kit that I'm giving you. So you'll get all the cardstock, you'll get everything there to make the 8. Then you're going to end up with a lot of extra, which you'll just do and create on your own. Plus you get half a pack of designer series paper, so you can make the card multiple times and just use the different colors and just use your own card bases that you may have. But anyway, I've had 2 shaker card ideas in my head, one for the upcoming bauble blooms, and then one for this one, because there's just so much left over with it. So let me flip you, and so we can just get started and we don't waste time. And let's just hope that my camera is set up in the right spot. Okay, so I've been having internet issues as well. Didn't mean to make you dizzy there. And the kids have been really complaining, and I mean, so I don't know. We did a reset, so I hope that nothing goes wrong with this one. So I'm just gonna plug in to make sure I don't lose power and we don't get cut out. And I probably can zoom in just a bit more. So let's do that. Okay, so because this card here requires you to cut out quite a few, what do you call it? Excuse me, rainbows. I ended up with quite a few, like every color that we actually use. So you're gonna get these in your kit, the blanks, and then what happens is you'll end up with a ton of these left over. And I'm like, oh, perfect, don't want to waste it. And I think it's a great way to actually make a shaker card. And so, or you could, if you did things right, you could also layer them up and get a thicker rainbow, which would be fun to do. So you layer it like so. And then eventually this becomes super thick, and you could add this to your card, just like so, and then get a bigger rainbow. Now I obviously have multiple colors, but I've used some of them up already and given them away. So I don't have, this is all I got left. And then I'm like, okay, I really want to make a shaker card or two. We'll see how far we get. So this is, I made sure that the rainbow was cut at the bottom, so then I could use this whole card and the remainder of it to create something with. So we'll see what we can do there. And we'll see what we can do here. And then I had some offcut because I used the other half of this card to make one of the cards for my monthly kit. So I thought this would work perfect if we actually put it on the back side here and just add that there as background. And then we can have some color as well. So you could just slide this over wherever you like. So you just want to make sure we can add some foam adhesive and some windows there. And then we can maybe cut out a couple pieces. So I have a couple ideas there. So we need some window sheets, which I forgot to grab, but they're handy. They're right here. So I've got my pack of window sheets, which we sell in 12 by 12s right here. So I have that. And one thing we don't sell anymore, which I hope they bring back, is vellum. That's another one. Okay, then I went through my stash and then I found a bunch of loose frosted, like loose dots. So there's the loose frosted dots. I have some of these ones, which I thought would go great with the yellow, but they're from Bucket Fence Studios. So I got that at a scrapbooking store. Found some subtle shimmer sequins. So these are all retired, and I actually had 2 packs, so that kind of might help out, but I kind of like these colored ones. And they're from before, so pick whatever you got in your stash, and we'll create that there. And then we just need something different. So this is going to be probably because it's smaller, because I cut off the end to use it. So we're going to make this into a 4x4. So we're going to just make sure that we're 4 inches by 4 inches, and then we're going to trim it down to a different card size. Okay, so let's do that. I was just checking the measurements. Okay, so let's see what we have. So currently we are just slightly over 4 inches. So one side is thicker than the other. Got some dirt there. So we'll trim that down. Oh, it's actually not that bad. It's literally a hair, so I think we're good. So then we're going to trim this down to 4 inches because I need that space on the bottom. So let's see here. We'll line that up. Okay. So there's our 4x4. So how's the weather? It's a little cooler, which is kind of nice, but it's still kind of hot out. My youngest son, and my husband went to Birds Hill Beach because it's literally 5 minutes drive from our house, just to get out and get off video games and out of chores. So that's nice. My other son has soccer practice tonight, so can't really do much. Okay, so that's 4. So then now we need a piece to just go in behind here. Now, it doesn't matter how big that piece is because it's hidden, right? So you just want to make sure you have enough space to put some foam adhesive there. So we're going to use Stampin' Up's foam adhesive strips to create our lift for our shaker card. Now, if you don't have foam adhesive strips, I should say, I highly recommend that you use the edging of our Stampin' Dimensionals. So this one here, the edging will have a thick piece right here, like the longer or wider. But I recommend you use this side first. So you can cut that side off and this side here and use it and stick it along the back and shape it to just give you that lift. Now, you can't really put a lot of strips here unless you have thin foam adhesive strips. So I don't recommend you doing that, but what we'll show you is we'll just put the window sheet here. So then that way it gives some sturdiness to each of these waves in the rainbow, I guess. I don't know, curves? Curves, that's probably a better word. Okay, so this is gonna go along the back and I don't want that white, so I'm gonna make sure that we cover that piece up and we don't have it showing. So see, so now we're gonna grab our window sheet and we need a window sheet that is about the size of this rainbow and slightly bigger. So if I was to take a ruler, so we can go 4 inches wide because we know we're 4 inches, right? Let's just double check. Man, I need a new Tim Holtz ruler. So that's 4 inches and we can pretty much go 3 1/4. 3 inches would be tight, so we want that little bit there and we want to go at least 3 1/4. So then that way the window sheet has room for adhesive and has a spot to stick. I have some eraser on there. Okay, so let's put that aside. So let's grab our window sheet. So I said 4 by 3 1/4, right? Now I keep all my scraps because you never know when you need them. And then we're gonna grab a sheet. And here's a partial sheet already, which you probably cannot see. So totally get it. You know, I totally miss doing Facebook or doing any kind of live in this beautiful, sunny, bright day. Doing them in the evenings, I'm constantly having to set up lights. So it's so nice that I can do this without, I have natural light coming through. So hopefully when I retire, I'm still able to do some crafting and have a big enough team that I can continue to do it without having to, like, while I retire, then I'll be able to do videos every day during daylight hours. Oh, natural, I guess is a better word or term. Okay, so I'm just putting the leftover pieces back because I have now finished, which you cannot see, cutting my window sheet. So there it is. And that is, again, just going to go here onto the back side. So you'll see, you can see it there. And we're gonna stick that all along the back, okay? So I'm just gonna grab my adhesive. Here, let me put this on something darker so you can see it. And then I should probably use my silicone mat to be safer than cardstock and waste. Okay, and so we're gonna grab, I'm just gonna use my liquid glue and I'm gonna add some here, really nice and light, just along the edge. Now I know I'm 4 inches wide, so I'm good. And then I'm just gonna add a few dots here. Now I don't want any of these to smear. So I could grab my fine tip, but this is working out fine. Because you know why it's working out fine? Is because I'm using a brand new bottle. So when you do that, it helps. Okay. They're easier to squeeze out smaller dots. Okay. Sometimes I let it dry a bit too, or smear it like this, so that way it literally does not spread all over my window sheet. So we're gonna grab our window sheet now, make sure it's clean, there's some fuzzies there, and we're just gonna lay that flat and make sure you put it the right way. There we go. So you can see the pattern. You can see my adhesive in there, and none of it is going on any of the window sheet. So we'll let that dry for a bit. And then I couldn't decide on my base color, which is why I pulled out Secret Sea. There we go. So now all we have to do, and you flip it over, you won't be able to see, and you've got a window sheet there. So now we're going to use our foam strips and go around, but we'll give that a second to dry. In the meantime, I think I'm going to cut out. Now, you could puff this up if you want and give it more lift, right? But I think we're good. I'm going to use those others too to create some more. And I'm just going to grab my mini. Just trying to find my other face. Okay. It's time to get some new plates. Time to get some new plates. I'll lift you up here a bit just to give myself some room. And we're going to bring in this. And we're going to bring in a few of the dies. Where did I put them? Oh, there they are. So I wanted to grab these vines, and add a little bit to the front of the card. And then we're going to grab this one too. And I'm still debating if we should have, now I was debating whether or not we should have added texture, but I changed my mind. And I should have did that before I put the window sheet on, because I just forgot. So we could have embossed that first. And we probably should have. Okay, so I'm just going to add this piece. And this is the hearts. So we're going to cut out a few hearts. I don't need a lot, so I'm just going to rip that. And again, I don't need a lot on this one either. So I'm wondering if I can use, So I'll just rip that in half. And then we're going to add these two pieces on there. Maybe going in the same direction. There we go. And then the hearts. And we'll add those to the front. Probably should have did some heat embossing too. Okay, all those ideas are coming after. After the fact. Uh-oh. Okay, our hearts are moving, so I'm going to come back. Let's make sure okay. So I should have my two leaves. So get that out of the way. Or vines? Would they be vines? And let's get our hearts going. They slipped. So I'll move it a little closer to the top and get that going. Let's bring it back so that I don't have it popping out. So I'm not wasting all that on the other end. Okay, so there's our 3 hearts. I'm going to use those, I think. Oops, can't lose them. Get this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to grab our silicone mat. I don't know, I'm improvising here. So if you have any other suggestions, please do share. Just drop you down to have a better view. So we're going to use our fine tip glue, because I wasn't smart enough to use adhesive sheets. Just thought of that now. Okay, and we're going to add, so make sure our glue is working. Yep. So here I'm using our fine tip because these are super skinny. Now, if I was smart, I would have just used the adhesive sheets. Didn't think of it. So not brilliant on my part. Now, all I'm doing is taking the 2 of these, like we did before on the other card, and I'm just going to run it right along here, I think. Or should I go on this one? Yeah, we'll put it on this one, like so. Okay, so this one's going here. And then this one, because we got the glue on it already. Hopefully it's enough, should be. We'll go here. like so, okay? And then we'll add adhesive to this one. I'm just trying to bring more color in. Okay. Put some down the middle. May not be my finest, but we'll see. Probably if I had more time, I could have. All these ideas are now flooding through my head. Okay, but I have 2 more to play with, so. Oi, okay, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so I'll add this one up here to match. Come on. Oh, they're back from the beach already. Okay, must have not been great. Or it could be too windy, whichever. And then we have our 3 hearts. So I was thinking I'd put one here. Let's just see. Where's my take your pick tool? So much easier than trying to use my finger. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Something like that. And then we can add a sentiment there or along the bottom. Now I also had a little wee one. Where did it go? Let's see. Making sure it didn't fall. So I also have this one which can fit here. But I think that'll look a little cheesy. Unless I cut out more hearts. Yeah, that might look a little cheesy, but we'll put something there. What else do we have? Oh yeah, we have starbursts as well. So we could do those in yellow. In the yellow and bring that in. So we'll look at that too. Okay, so we have that. And now we need to add this in along the back, plus our shaker beads. So let's get these out of the way for now. Okay, and we're gonna pull this off. I just realized I left my lunch in the toaster oven. Isn't that funny? Okay, because I was eating and then I totally forgot about it. Because I was super excited about this instead. So we're going to go here. So we're going to add our foam strips. So yeah, they're back early. Well, I guess an hour and a half. Hour and a half of swimming. Might be enough. Okay, so we're gonna go here. So I'm gonna make sure I'm along the bottom so that way it doesn't fall out. But actually I want it to drift. Okay, I'll get the outside first. And then we're gonna put some here. So we're just gonna follow that rainbow pattern. What's nice about the foam and our dimensionals is they flex really well. So we're just curving around. There we go. And then we have this itty bitty there, so that's okay. So I'm just gonna take a full strip, butt it right up against it, so that way the shakers or our little dots or beads, whichever we use, or whatever you choose to use, will not fall out. And then I'm gonna cut this as well and squeeze that right in there. There. So now everything will fit in there, but I don't want it to go into that compartment either. So I'm gonna add a little bit here so that it swings and doesn't go in there. So our little beads don't go in there. There we go. Ta-da! Easy peasy. And then you go to Hallmark or you go to Walmart and you go and look for, oh, look at that cool shaker card, and they're selling them for $10.95. Well, I'm telling you, we're making this all out of scrap, so how much are we really spending, right? So now we just got to line this up where we want it. And I will probably put it right about there. So I just want to make sure I don't have any white showing. So that's good. So we're going to peel this back now. And just take off all that adhesive. And we're going to drop in our loose frosted dots. So just use whatever you have left over. Make sure I didn't miss anywhere. Drop these in. See, there's not much left, so that's perfect. I'm just going to dump it all in there. Now my box is empty. Yay! And we're going to toss those around. Make sure they're not sticking to any of the glue. And then we're just going to put this right on the edge. And hopefully, I'm good. All right. Woohoo! No white. And it's shaken up. Nothing's falling out. Perfect. And now all we have to do is some trimming. Now, I am going to trim this down along the back, like so. Now, see, you don't need to be fancy here. If you want to keep all of this, then I would have added more strip. But all I'm going to do is just cut this down. I can feel where my adhesive is. And just go like that. Because you know what? It's just going to go on the back of a card anyway. So now I'm going to add a strip there. So that way when I put it onto my base, it's going to be at the same height. Okay. We don't need lots. See? I just used that. Okay. So we're going to add our hearts. So I'm going to use some mini glue dots. And we're going to add a sentiment. This is like so easy. And honestly, it's just one of those simple cards to give to anyone you may know. I'd probably give this to someone who I know doesn't keep my cards and throws them out because all I did was use all scrap on here. So I'm going to put one there. I could have put one here too. And then we're going to put two more at the top. Oh, I'm out. Yay, another one gone. Because I don't know why, but I have 3 of these started. So we're going to use micros, smaller ones. And these micros, by the way, you cannot get at Stampin' Up. You have to go to your local craft or your local scrapbooking store. Okay, now we add that one, and then our third one to be somewhere around here. Okay, I have like a pencil mark there, so I'm just gonna grab, where's my eraser? I had it here earlier. I don't know what that is, but anyway, there we go. Okay, so then we can also do a couple starbursts. So I think I'm going to add this. So excuse me while I grab some yellow. I think we're going to use yellow, which is Daffodil Delight. Okay, I'm going to do this real quick on the side. I won't want to have to bring it in. Okay. I feel like we should have embossed this first. Then it would have been prettier. Because I feel like it's a little flat. Okay, so we have a couple starbursts. So we'll add one there. Maybe on this side. And then add one up higher. Maybe even over there. And then we'll have a sentiment that goes across. Now this one comes with a few, like hello, thanks, sending good vibes, and there's darling, so hello, darling. It's just not a sentiment I would use. So we're going to pull out a different stamp set because they're just not what this card, I think, is calling for. I wonder if my not 29 anymore has something funny we can add. Let's see. No, not so much. Let's see. Where is, gotta try and use something new, but if we can't, that's fine. I know what we want to use. Let me see if I have it right here. I think it's this one. Yeah, because this one's got like, where did I put the dies for this one? Or was this one a punch? Simply Said, I can't remember if it's dies or punch. Hang on. Just trying to find it. Oh, but we can do, from our Thanks and Beyond dies, I can do this thanks and have that added. So you can see all the color in there, and I'm kind of glad we went with the yellow. There's lots of yellow and blues, so we got lots of good dark colors in there. Okay, I'm gonna go with more embossing or more die cutting. I think this one will be a good one. So these are, if you are part of Paper Pumpkin Kit, you can get these little extras, extra dies that can go with it. And we're gonna just use the word thanks. And I think that would fit. Oh, it's a little big. A little big, but we can go that way. So maybe we just move this guy a bit. So that way I can fit thanks here. Oh yeah, totally. And then we have our card base, which we're going to do 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So like that. And then we have thanks. So just to bring the dark so that it brightens it up. So this is our C, secret C. And we'll go like that. So we do have a bit of pink. We've got some yellow there. So we have some. So let's pull out some strawberry slush. We are using all in colors here. Okay, let's do that because I have lots of scrap of it. And let's see if I can make this fit twice. 3 inches and a half. Perfect. So I'm going to cut this in half. And we're going to stick that in the machine together. We're going to do 2 layers. So we're going to double it like so. Oh, my Wi-Fi. What's going on, Wi-Fi? And we're going to stick that together and we get double. And then we're going to okay, I think it connected again. I sure hope so. Oops, just bumped my table. I don't know if we're back or not, so I will check it. I apologize. I don't know what's going on with our Wi-Fi, but it's been acting up. And even yesterday, and even though we had multiple people on it, it never usually has an issue. And yesterday it was acting up real funny too. So, and you know, we have Valley Fiber. So I don't know why it's giving us a pain, but it is. I don't know. Whenever I make cards, I seem to be much messier than if I'm scrapbooking. So we don't want to lose those. So I'm just going to grab my Wi-Fi is just horrible. Okay. I'm going to grab my silicone mat. And we're going to layer, like they're stuck together, but they will fall apart. So let's take them apart and grab our fine adhesive. So this is a little trick. If you don't want to use dimensionals, this works so much better. But cut 3 or 4. This time I'm only doing 2. And it'll give you that extra lift. And you'll still should be able to put this in the mail. Okay. There we go. And it looks like it's trying to catch up, but hopefully we still got everything I did on there. But I'll watch it after. And just comment If you have questions, feel free to comment and I will just add to that. Okay, so we're gonna add that there. So there's our thanks. So it's kind of hiding the background a bit more. Like again, I would have embossed that and I should have. So my apologies. So we have a little bit of thickness now instead of that single layer. And we're gonna add our word thanks here. I'm gonna flip that and bring in my silicone mat again. And we're gonna add adhesive. Love this fine tip container. You can get them off Amazon. And they do come in bulk. So if you are ever in person with me, I do sell them for like $1. And then I always just add the elastic on the bottom. So then that way this isn't flapping so much. Okay, so we're just gonna add that word there, thanks. I'm just gonna have it hanging off just a bit. Okay, maybe not, kinda, looks a little cheesy, I think. Give it a little more wiggle room. Okay, I think that looks like a good spot. We'll clean up that glue. Give that a little press, looks good. And then we're gonna put that on a square card. And then you're probably like, well, how's that work? You'll have to create your own envelope, is how that works. Now you can use an envelope punch, which is what I often do, or you can just create your own. Okay, so let's go for, so we're gonna go, so this is 8.5, and so we're gonna go 4 1/4. So then that way we are 4 1/4 all around, because remember that's 4 inches. So we're gonna slide this over to 4 1/4, 4 1/4, just make sure. And then we're gonna score it at 4 1/4. So then we have our square. Ta-da! That out of the way. So now we fold this in half. And then this can go onto the front of our card. There we go. Doesn't always have to be a perfect standard card, which is 4 1/4 by 5.5. So we're gonna add adhesive here because we have our 2 pieces there. There we go. A little bit goes a long way. Now peel those off, right? Because we need to have equal height. Okay. And then we're just gonna stick that right on the front. Super cute, made out of all leftover scrap pieces. So not a very expensive card at all. So let's find some scrap white, which I should have sitting around here somewhere. Ta-da! See, told you. So we're gonna cut a 4 inch by 4 inch square. I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi. That side looks a little crooked, so we'll go to the other one. There we go. And that's going to go onto the inside of our card. And we have other stamps we can add to that. So I have thanks, but I'm just gonna write with it, and because of the fact that we have so much, but we'll just grab that starburst. All my rainbow pieces, which I get to use. I'm gonna grab that little burst of color here. Just a little itty bitty one. Okay. And I'll need a little one. And we'll grab our Daffodil Delight. Grab my mat here because I'm probably gonna I might get some off. So put a star in that corner and then another one in 3s, right? And that will go on the inside. Okay. Oops. So just add our adhesive. sloppily. Oop, turn it. Now, I had no idea what this card was going to look like because I just made it up as we went along, but it was in my head all week and I just had to get it done. So, you know, better to get it done here. So now also, when you join my subscription, you'll also get a full pack of the coordinating adhesives, which is called Muted Palette Dots. And I already have a pack started, so we're not gonna open up another one. So we can add a few in here. So let's do that just to like give it a, like, I know it looks busy already, but I just want to make it a little busier. So we're gonna add one. I wanted to put one right about there. 1, 2, and then I'll add another one up there with the yellow sun. I don't want to put it there because I want to leave it open. There. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everything always has to be in odds. So we'll do that. So it is a little thicker, so it's definitely a card you want to like give in person. I'm not sure if it'll fit through the slot. I don't think it'll fit through standard, but let's check. Oops. So I have these templates that I created that are to help with Canada Post mail. So you can see it's a little tight. So it's going to go in oversized mail, oversized letter mail. So you definitely may want, if you don't care, you can always, it's not going to cost you much more because it's so small. But it is thicker because it's very light in weight still. So there you go. And then you have the inside. And then we're done. Now you could have added some butterflies or whatever, like whatever rainbows. I was thinking of adding the clouds on them, but I think I'll do that with the other ones. Like this one, I'll add using our old cloud punch and add a couple clouds. So that's just another idea to create with. We could also have added some linen ribbon, which is linen thread, which is also coming in your kit. So again, my subscription is up top. The link, so like I said, you'll need additional supplies. You'll need is just like a dark color. So if you don't have Secret Sea yet, you can just use Night of Navy or black. That's fine. But you'll get all the pieces, and the only thing you'll need to do is make sure you cut out your rainbows, and everything else will be there. So you have to have the rainbow because that's part of the package. And then the only other thing you need is heat emboss. So make sure you have white embossing powder and of course the heat tool to go with it. And everything else I'll supply. So I hope you liked that. It was just another quick card I wanted to share, and I figured I'm making it, so I might as well share it with you. And again, I have 2 spots open for bingo. So you'll also get with bingo, you're going to get the Jar of Joy. That is at the end of this month. And you'll get all the supplies to make 4 cards with it. So looking forward to that. I don't want to show them all and spoil the surprise. As well as the embellishments and ribbon that go along with it. So, and a chance to win Stampin' Up! Rewards. So you definitely need to come. So the links are up top. Thank you again for watching. I will make sure it worked okay. And if you'd like to catch the replay on my YouTube page or here, that's fantastic. So have a great day and happy stamping.